Okay, I'm in here, join the space, and let's go live. Kind of weird that it's not like opening up. Like there it is. Okay, Brent, we are now live. I am going to go ahead and stream this. Can you make me co-host so I can run the software? I'm gonna have myself like a whole studio format back here by the time I'm done with Twitter Spaces. So, how are you, Brent?
Good, you?
I got a new toy so I can start doing podcasting on on the road. I guess I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. Everybody was talking about it, so I just went ahead and got it. And I didn't get the Roadcaster. I get the Mixcaster 4, which is the newest one. I'm kind of curious if you get the newest one of them all. Does it make a difference?
Mm.
Yeah. But I didn't want to go out and buy a whole same system like they would have because I already have a bunch of like equipment already, like good microphones. I have some really nice microphones. I have cordless one. I have the other one too, but I have to look for that. But the mixing board requires a certain type of um like uh the plugs, different types of plugins. It's kind of interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, let me go ahead and copy this. So, how was your day?
Good.
I was teaching a pharmacist on how to use Twitter Spaces. He wants to hire me, but I'm kind of, everyone has it's expensive nowadays and everything, and it's not like I don't need the money. I just, feel like it would be more organic if I show him how to do it himself
Mm.
instead of me doing it for him, and he'll sell more books that way.
Mm.
So I'm streaming this right now on to Facebook, YouTube page, Facebook, and the YouTube page and the Twitch page.
Mm.
There. Now I'm gonna do
Well,
this.
I know that you probably have a lot to say about this topic because you've been in this space for a while.
Yes, and I didn't go to school for this, by the way. I'm gonna let you know that. Hi, Alberto. And communication and PR are so important in every aspect of anything you do. Once you understand the science behind it and the key time and when, because it's actually there's a whole uh like analytics that you have to run. And communication, you think like it's gonna be a whole bunch of words, right? That too, but really whatever is gonna be pleasing to the eye.
But I mean, like, but when you had a radio station, you were part of communications and PR when you had a show.
Well, I still do. I'm in the middle of research right now, but yeah, I've always been in communication. I but what I do is get high. I'm hired as a consultant for certain projects. So my projects that the people that want to hire me right away, and they just want me to give them a proposal. I am. I used to do it because I thought that's the right thing to do, but in business, it's not about them hiring you. It's about how much do you love them for you to hire them.
Mm.
Does that make sense? So communications again is such a key aspect of every brand. So let's bring Nick up. I want to say hi to Nick. I haven't seen him. He does this nonprofit concert festival. And then let's see if Alberto would like to join us.
But I mean, what made me open this space is a brand new freelance job. that I was offered.
Tell us about that.
Hmm. Uh, writing, doing blog posting for the Ottawa Sports and Entertainment Group about uh doing some of the keeping helping them write up do a blog for player interviews.
That's fantastic. I think you can, if you know ahead of plan what you want to do and create it, meaning create when you want to do it, you could create, you can host like tiny Twitter spaces as your content without really not typing much, just having little, like, little snippets of the conversation you had on a Twitter space would make a great blog.
Hmm.
So what is going to be the first post that you do? Well, hi Nick, how are you? I forgot. Let me say hi to Nick real quick. Nick, how are you? What you been up to?
Hi, you alright? Hello, Brent, the host. Hello, Alberto. Hello, Tonya. Yeah, I've been really, really busy. I've just finished helping to organise and promote a music festival stroke celebrity football match. I've just got back a couple of days ago and it was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah.
And what you're in the middle of raising money for a concert, are you not?
And no, we raised money for a little boy and his family. With this little boy is 3 years old. Before he was born, he had two strokes, and which left him with cerebral palsy. And basically, what it is, I came up with the idea of to set up a Just Giving page to raise about £5,000 initially, to build a hydro spa pool for the little boy, who which would help with his muscle spasms and his pain. But within about 7 weeks of promoting it online, we exceeded that amount and we got up to about 9,000. And so, what the family have basically done, they have decided that what they want to do is now, because we're raising quite a lot of money and I'm good at what I do, they have decided that they're going to raise their target. The current target at the moment is 3,000 remaining, and then after that 3,000 is completed, I'm then gonna push and promote to raise about 30,000 in total. So another 15,000 will be added to the Just Giving. And what the family have decided to do, they're going to build another hydro spa pool on their land to help other people in the local community that also have disabilities, to help with their pain and discomfort. So I stayed with the family. So what my main objective was to, one, manage the stage, get the PA, get the lighting, promote it online, promote ticket sales, fundraising, fill it up with musicians to perform from all around the UK, and then I hosted the event. And then obviously it's a festival, so I had to obviously make sure that obviously all the crowd management, the vendors were happy. There's a lot. Well, when you organise any kind of event, there's a lot that needs to take place. So it wasn't just a music festival; it was also a celebrity football match. So it's a lot of communication and organising and making sure people show up. So yeah, that's over now. It's done. It was a result. So now I'm doing all the marketing for it. So what I do, I get because it's for this little boy. So what I do, I've got contacts that are celebrities. So they are they've made some videos for this little boy called Roman. So the idea is what I'm going to do next is that when we start the new £15,000 pound fundraiser, I'm going to obviously use these celebrity videos for this little boy called Roman to help promote the Just Giving page.
Wow, that's incredible. That's a great way. That's a true communication project development right there. I mean, does it start for you to launch your music festival? Does it start with a press release, or does it for you to start getting things out there, or do you get together and there's a whole bunch of different people in the process, or are you the only one running the
Um,
communication aspect of it?
well, mainly the communication. There's three of us. There is me, Mikey, and another guy, and they're truly amazing. So Mikey, he was given the job of the site manager. My job was to oversee everything, basically, along with another organizer who is still learning because I've got previous experience. I've been doing this for like 12 years now. I've basically come on board to make sure that everything is covered. So yeah, I mean, obviously press is important, but I mean, before you can even go to press, one of the most important things that you've got to do is you've got to get a venue, you've got to get a stage, you've got to get it all in writing, you've got to get all the public liability insurance, you've got to get the security, the fencing, the traffic management, the vendors, the online advertising. I do all that myself as well. So, are you recording now?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Now we are.
Now you are
I'm,
right. Okay. So obviously, I'm not going to say everything that I would like to say.
no, I'm sorry. We're actually live streaming. So,
Right. Okay.
but a link you want to post up in the nest?
Yeah. That's fine. But I mean, the other good thing is as well is that what inspired me to help more. I mean, obviously, I've read Brent's bio there, and one of the things that I got involved with over the last 3 years, I promoted a movie. Which has over 80 children with disabilities featured in the film, and it's now available on Amazon Prime. The reason that I got involved with it is because of its values. Because it's got over 80 children as cast members in the movie with disabilities. Before I even looked at the movie, I mean, I thought it was a YouTube video, right? Before I even looked at it, I never contemplated that, how big it was going to be. But the movie director was so pleased with what I was doing, I actually became movie media partners for the film, alongside the United Nations and UNESCO, and the contributing musicians as well for the film is Quincy Jones, Julian Lennon, and Sinead Garrett, who co-wrote Man in the Mirror and Michael Jackson. But the movie itself is not just a movie; it's a whole new movement. So the idea of the film is to promote inclusion and equality, and that changes people's perceptions of those that have disabilities. And if you watch the film, it's called One Little Finger. That's now available, and you'll see that if you're given the right chance in life, no matter what your ability is, we can all achieve success. Success. So the whole idea of the film is to change people's perceptions, and on top of that, I do. I've got a radio show and I'm a podcaster, and I'm pretty much self-contained. I pretty much do everything from online ticket sales to film festivals to music events, charity events, marketing, networking, communication, um, talking to celebrity agents and booking big bands and many different things. And I've helped to launch festivals in the UK and across the world as well. And yeah, it's really humbling. And guess what? I do it absolutely all as a non-profit. I'm a fully recognised non-profit business here in the UK. Listed on top sites, business sites here in the UK, and my business took a massive recognition back in 2016 when my non-profit was, well, I am the non-profit basically. So you got Nick Scar of Nick's Music Promo, that's me, and I run it myself. So basically, 2016, I was contacted by Richard Branson, founder of Virgin, and via LinkedIn, and he actually asked me to pitch my business to him, to enter into a competition called VOOM, and I came 35th in the UK as non-profit. It's only just over, I would say, the last year, 2 years or so, that I've started to come more to the forefront of what I do, because normally and most of the time, I'm the guy in the background that keeps the cogs turning and does all the background work that no one knows about. And that's me in a nutshell.
Well, you're one of the most important person.
I wouldn't say I'm important. It's a job and it's got to be done. But because I'm a non-profit, my biggest cost is my time, and I enjoy what I do. And if I believe in something that is real, I'll support it. But one of my other objective is to protect musicians and vulnerable people from exploitation from different areas of the industry. That was one of the reasons that I set up my non-profit. So with that in mind, I'm always kind of listening and learning and making sure people are not ripping people off and promising people the world and delivering half of what they promised. So I'm fully individual really, and I love what I do and I love helping people. That's what it's about.
I think that's you just spot on right there. Definitely helping people and enjoying what you do. Such a key aspect of anyone's life, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's it. It's all about collaboration and trust. And the good thing about being a non-profit, I mean, I've heard a lot of well, I say a lot, a handful of names that I won't mention in America that say they're non-profit, but there's always some kind of catch. So I can always look out for that. Always look out for that. You've got to be ever so careful nowadays. The only thing I would say when it comes to the music or any part of the entertainment industry, if anybody approaches you and promises you the world, alarm bells should start ringing. It doesn't matter who you collaborated with. It doesn't matter what celebrities you collaborated with. I'm pretty much, what's the word? I'm pretty much good at discovering BS, if you know what I'm saying. So I like to I like to make sure that the people that I'm working with are trustworthy, and most people that I work with trust me because I have a non-bias outlook on the entertainment industry.
Nice. Okay. I love it. I think that's fantastic, and I would love to, because in communication is key in the when it comes to events and putting the word out and getting besides just like what the message is going to be, but also to get sponsors or and get people who are part of it to collaborate. Communication is such a key aspect. Do you find that because you've been doing this so long, the PR part of it is not that big of a deal?
Well, I mean, a lot of what I do. I mean, I don't rely mainly on social media or even emails. I mean, I've got a phone book with handwritten numbers on it, and I pick up the phone and speak to people. I've proper conversations with people. And or even travel to meet them and have meetings and things like that. So it's about real time as well as just online. I mean, the online thing is just a tool, and it's a useful tool if it's used correctly. So that's I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of work, but like the PR, like the marketing, I think the biggest bit that makes up my takes up my time is all the video and artwork and all that sort of creation part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I should teach a class on that actually. I love doing that actually. So I find for myself, I do a lot of co-hosting. A lot of I do more co-hosting, which is very crazy because I'm used to doing most of my own show and been doing it since 2000 February 2010 daily. But being part of co-hosting and helping other people out, I've come to like create different template of how each talk will be. I even have the music, I have everything else like organized like per folder so that I know if I'm helping Brent out, I already have a template set up for him. So I think when you get good at what you're doing, it's like making pie, right? You make like the exact same thing, and it's like an assembly line. So and I think I would like to talk to people about that, and I love it to hear your passion about what your project and your festivals and stuff, and that makes a big difference too. When you go into a project, is how excited are you?
Well, the journey is sometimes better than the destination, right? So, like when you put all the hard work in, um, what I think what the best thing is when you help launch a festival or you give people advice when you actually attend the event, um, and you're there and you kind of give a bit of direction and you see that it's running smoothly and everything's in order. That's when it's good. That's when it works. And there's many ways you can create something without it costing you hardly anything at all. Obviously, some things have to be paid for. You can't avoid. But yeah, as you said before about sponsorships, this, that, and the other. But then you've got to sell the idea and get people behind you to make it work. And that's the thing, and that's what you need. You need trusted communication, and it doesn't matter if it's for non-profit or if it's for a charity or whatever it is. It's still business, and things still have to be put in place. Because if you've got a celebrity that said that they're going to show up, you need to have like prenuptial agreements to say, well, look, if we're a ticket selling organization and we're relying on ticket sales to donate the money to charity, you have to be there on the day. And if you don't show up, you've got to, if anyone says, like, I want my money back because I've traveled from this part of the UK to come and watch this band or see this celebrity perform and they've not showed, whether it's on a voluntary basis or a paid basis, they have to obviously cover the cost of that.
Yeah, because I do that when I sign a deal with, even though it's being donated to me for women in communication and we're a nonprofit, we do sign an agreement where if we do not fulfill what we say we are going to do, as far as show up and do the event, then we are liable for the amount of cost of time. Even though it's being donated to us, we agree to it. We have to uphold it, So, which is it's such an important thing. And I tell people it's the value that you give the other person, right? And like they to you, and if you're getting something out of it, no matter what, if you and it didn't get accomplished, then you're liable for it. When you say the word liable, it's such a negative word.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just about being liable. It's about making sure that your reputation is upheld. If you've built something and created something, and you truly believe that you wanna use your brand or your business to help others in a non-profit way, and you're up against profit-based businesses, it can be very, very competitive. So it is very important to try and you know have that sort of reputation as well, because obviously if you build up a good trusted reputation with your clients, word gets around and other opportunities might open up, and it's all about enjoying what you do, but you've got to put the work in as well. It's extremely difficult. I mean, I've been through quite a rough time over the last few years with my wife having cancer and people dying in my family, but it just seems to, like, the harder I get knocked down in life, the harder I work.
I'm like, God, I just want to give you a hug right now. Um, I'm sorry that it's true though. When crazy thing happens in your life, you're knocked down, and sometimes it inspires you to do better or create. You're more creative. So it's what you just shared me with us. Thank you for sharing that. And so with dealing with being a caregiver to your wife and with your business and with your nonprofit, how do you find balance in your life?
Well, it's basically like a mutual understanding between me and my family that I love my family and I take my time to take time with my family, and that's very important. Trying to get the balance right, but it is very difficult when you're on your own and you're self-contained. I mean, I think the only thing I haven't got is a record label. So basically, because I'm also promoter for the South Coast largest charity music festival that holds about 7,000 people. So I've got to get to work on that soon and start promoting that. But I've still got a lot to do with this little boy that we've got to raise money for. So it's a lot of work. And as I said before, my biggest cost with anything that I get involved with is my time. My time is precious, but I think that I mean, here's an example. Um, I hear a lot of quotes and I hear a lot of things online where people say that they're too busy. I don't get that, and I don't believe in that. I don't think too busy is a good reason. I think it's It's all about priorities rather than being busy. I mean, for example, I've spoken to people who said, "Oh, I'm too busy, or I'm doing this, or I'm sick, or I'm not well." Well, when my wife was fighting her cancer battle, right, I launched my own little festival here where I live. I was also helping to launch a festival up in Scotland, and that was doing all the marketing for that as well. So I was doing my own one, doing that. I was producing my radio show for FM every week. I was also helping my wife, being a house husband, looking after my kids, helping my wife up the stairs because she was climbing up the stairs with her chemotherapy treatment. And I just kept plugging, and plugging away. And it helped me through it. It helped me through my difficult times by anytime I felt upset or I was struggling, I was just working harder and harder and harder. And that's when obviously Richard Branson contacted me. And that was really interesting because, on LinkedIn, they actually show you who's viewed your account. Well, Bill Gates viewed my account twice. Richard Branson viewed my account twice. And that crazy person, what do you call him, that runs Facebook, he viewed my account once. And then that's when Richard Branson then decided to contact me. It's all been published in the newspapers and on the news and television and stuff, what I've done. So, it's all legitimate. But yeah, I was quite excited about it. But unfortunately, I actually pulled out of that competition. And the reason being is that I had to I had to rely on votes to get up the chain, so to speak, to get from 35th up to first position and win the competition and all this money. But I had to, even though I'm non-profit and it would have been really good to win it, I had to prioritize my clients because I was thinking to myself, well, if I start promoting myself, I'm not promoting my clients. And it just didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right. And then I was getting emails asking me if I want to buy votes. Now, as a non-profit organisation, I'm not in a position to pay for any votes. But as a non-profit, the non-profit businesses were actually included with profit-based companies. And this was where I had a beef with, because the problem is that I felt that if I was getting emails asking to buy votes, the problem then was, I was alongside cancer charities that didn't have a lot of money, and the non-profits and cancer charities and other, you know, far more important organizations than me, foundations is what they call them in America, that haven't got a lot of money, we're actually up against profit-based businesses. So there was no separation between non-profit charities and profit-based businesses. So the logic in my head was, well, if I'm getting them emails, it's quite likely that the profit-based businesses that have got their own marketing teams and their own budget are paying for these votes. So I pulled out on the basis of values and things like that, really.
Wow. And and how do you keep you like with all the stuff that you have to you pretty much inventory what's important to you, right? But like, how do you keep your energy going? Because it seems, because when I do an event, I feel like I get no sleep, and it's just one thing after another, and after another, and even though I most of the time I have a really good team going, but is there like an energy? Is there a trick to your multitasking? Because that's what it is.
Um, the trick is that I would say that if you're organising an event, so you organise an event, so you book your venue, you get your insurance, you sort out the musicians, the bands, all that sort of thing. But I think once it depends on the size of your venue, so it depends on the size of what you're doing. So if you've got a relatively small venue, it can still take a long time to do. So say, like for instance, Tonya, you say, right, uh, next year, um, next year at the end of July into August, when it comes to summertime, I'm going to create an event, right? You should be planning for that in a year in advance. So you've always got to stay 2 steps ahead of the game. and you've always got to cover every eventuality of what could go wrong. So you've always got to get plenty of backup. So, like for example, if you've got a stage and you've got a PA equipment and all that sort of thing, and you've got the bands and you've got musicians or anything like that, you need to make sure you've got backup mics. You've got to make sure that you've even got a backup PA system in case one pulls out. There's so many things that you've got to cover every sort of problem that you think could happen. So if you say like you've got one band that's got 7 members in the band, well, instead of ordering getting 7 mics, you need to get 10, and you need to get extension leads and plugins and spare amps, and are they going to be using backing tracks? Are they going to be using guitars or instruments? Have you got monitors? Have you got backlit?
That's you just answer my question. Like, how the hell do you remember all this stuff? I mean, besides that, plus you got to do the media, plus the communication. I'm just saying, that's a lot going on there. So, but on that note, I want to go ahead and say hi to Naomi, who joined us. She's just left. She couldn't wait any longer. And then we have Kiki, who is a school professor herself, school teacher, and Shiodex CyberSec. Thank you for joining us. Kiki, how are you? Did you have any questions? Or
No,
would you
I'm
like to
just listening into the conversation, and I have been also attending the spaces. There was a community space today with K20 educators yesterday and today, and they were talking about building communities and monetization, and how big the social audio has become due to the pandemic. Also, some comments were stating that it just grew so much. It was an exponential growth, and there is a lot of potential out there. So the developers and the people that want to come in, just like Twitter Spaces now, Facebook has its own, Clubhouse is also there. So they were talking about all these things, and how important it is to build communities, and why people follow, and how you can put out there a product that people would find value in. So I think that these are very important conversations to be had, because people keep coming back, and I think it's for the sense of community. So like Brent and Tanya, you guys have been in so many spaces, and I have visited so often, and it's like we know each other, right? If you put us together in a room, we would say hi to each other, we would acknowledge each other, it's like sitting down and drinking coffee with a friend. That's how I feel. And I have always felt very, very welcome in your rooms. And that's what I like. You can be around so many people from various environments and backgrounds, and all you have to do is just go there with an open mind and speak your mind, and try to stick to topic or not. Again, I've never felt in any space that you guys have hosted, or I have been so far unwelcome. And if I do, I just if something makes me feel uncomfortable, I just leave. But so far, I go with the people that I know, in places that I feel very, very comfortable. And Brett and Tanya, you always make people feel comfortable, and for that I thank you.
Oh, thank you. And you speak so eloquently. I want to tell you that. Kiki, I've always been very impressed with you.
Thank you so much, Tanya. You don't have to say anything about my accent. I get a lot of backlash about my accent from my administrators at work. However, I'm a very proud immigrant, and very proud of what I have accomplished in this country and what I provide for my students. So I flaunt my accent out there.
I'm so you got a
Thank
great
you.
accent. I don't understand what your
I know.
say such
Thank you.
things.
I think that some people just want to say something just to to bring out some nasties out there. But to be honest, I think that embracing people from other cultures and making people feel comfortable in every space and every situation is the best way to show manners and invite people in and want to keep them in and help them stay. So thank you so much, Anya. Thank you for your kind words.
And that's also it helps grow your
Correct.
community.
Yes,
You know?
absolutely. And I think people feel more comfortable when they hear people that they are who they are. They speak their mind. They're very open and welcoming, and they people can relate to that. And that's how people get out of their cell, and they become advocates. They speak up, and for me, that is what this age has become. I was watching today. Speaking of that, I was reading about Netflix and the Chappelle document. The comedy stand-up, and how many people from the LGBTQ community have stood up and they have walked out of the streaming, Netflix, and people are standing up behind them because they felt that they want to advocate for the community. So these are things that we need to talk about, and I believe that standing up for what you deeply, deeply believe is the most important thing. And there's no criticism. Everybody has a right to their own opinion. And that's all we can do is we can support each other and support each other's actions. As long as this is done peacefully and in a way that's not insulting, I'm behind every opinion, to be honest, because this is the right of humanity.
You're so right. And that's why I love about Twitter Spaces. In a sense, when you go on a Twitter Spaces, you meet so many different people, and you connect with so many. It's not like the zip code is the big deal nowadays, right? It's more like the continent. When global become local.
That's right. That's right. I feel like you guys are next door, and the audio is so good in spaces, especially when you do a space early around 7, 8 o'clock, and you don't keep it open for a long time. It's very successful, and they're getting better and better. And it's like I'm talking to you over the phone, and I love that.
I agree. I love it too. So, Brent, how are you? You want to share with us? I kind of like took over your space again.
No, but one question for like Kiki: how can we bring like the teaching of uh, journalism into the school?
So that that looks very different depending on the students. I do believe that becoming an advocate and an inquisitory mind is so very important for all the students. So that can lead to journalism, that can lead to advocacy. Because for me, journalism and advocacy, journalism when done properly is advocacy, right? Because every journalist has their own perspective when they write an article or when they present to public. So it is very important to empower students, have very strong teachers that are opinionated and influencers, right? And agents of change, because it takes a very, very strong individual to walk up to an administrator and say, listen, I have this idea. We can begin an audio space, and I want the kids to have a debate, or we want to present the day by day news. Of course, it would have to be, a little bit audited, but however, the kids need to be advocates. They need to be able to speak up. So, with the help of someone who's very knowledgeable and can work around the logistics of privacy with the students, you can get parental permission and all these things. I think that you can be successful. However, it's very, very important to protect the students' privacy and to get permission from the parents. These are two very, very, because especially in New York, The first thing we do, we get a media consent form at the beginning of the year, not only to protect ourselves, of course, but basically my basic issue is protecting the students and their privacy, because they're minors. And when you create a space or have their picture in public, right? We need to be very careful of how we present it, especially for students with IPs. We need to be very, very careful. So, if done so with care and parental consent, and you bring everybody in the conversation, I think it can be done very successfully.
But I think like in a school we can like teach journalism in a class by letting like students create videos
Yes.
and talking about stuff.
Absolutely, and you need to vet a little bit the material, like I was saying before, because it's very important and crucial. When I say PG, this is a family show. Really, you want the parents from home to be able to watch that. However, you have a conversation. You bring in the parents, and you can tell them about something that politics and things like that. It's important to be able to present both sides of the story. For me, uh, for example, Black Lives Matter, right? This is not a movement that just started today. It's something that has been going on for many years. And the reason why we are at this point is because we haven't addressed this properly. And it shouldn't even be an issue, because we live in a country that is a proponent for change and advocacy, and we need to be exactly that. So when you have a history that is written from the perspective of the victors, and certain things are left unsaid, that creates a confusion for the youth. So it's very important for us to be able to present all points of view and be able to talk about all issues, all subjects, all religion, all politics, in a safe environment and a safe space, and have a conversation. It's very important for young people to learn to talk to each other, because if you learn to talk, you are able to resolve and ameliorate differences in a way that is fruitful and constructive. Right? You don't get into fights, and you're able to fix issues before they become bigger than what they should be, really.
But I mean that's how teamwork works in a classroom is because you have to like you if because if you're working on a team project, you're having to work on solving issues with someone else.
That's right. That is absolutely right. I'm just gonna have to jump off. It has been a pleasure talking to you, Brent, talking to you, Tanya. I'm so
Thank
glad
you,
I
Kiki.
jumped in. You have a wonderful evening, and I'm gonna talk to you soon. Bye, guys.
Thank you. And Shodex Cybersecurity, how are you? Did you want to share with us?
I'm fine. I was just jumping in to listen to you guys. It's very educative, very informative. Very glad that I've joined you. And although I was late, so I've missed much, but next time I think I'll be on time, and I'll be willing to learn more and share my side of expertise with you as well. So anyway, thank you so much.
Well, in cybersecurity, you gotta have good communications too.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of conversation, but fast though. So,
Hello.
hi, Charles. If anybody wants to grab the mic, please request. We're gonna finish it at 8 p.m. sharp in 15 minutes. Hey, Charles, I give you the mic. Let me invite you again. Join us. Let me wave at him. Watcher, I just invited you to. And Paul, I just invited you. Hi, Charles. How are you, darling? How you been?
Good evening, Tanya. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How's everybody doing? Hello.
Doing good.
Great. That's good. I'm glad.
Just waved at Watcher. Yeah, Brent started his space because he started a new job. I got a job as a blogger. Brent, tell us
Hello,
again,
Brent.
if you don't
Nice to
mind.
meet you. My name is Charles.
I I just recently got a freelance job to do some blogging about sports.
That's awesome. That's awesome. what's your what are your favorite sports?
Hockey and football.
Wow, those are two
I'm
completely
clueless at sports.
those are two completely different sports.
Yep.
One's on the ice and one is on the grass.
So I'm pretty excited about like a freelance job to like jump into journalism and communications.
That's
Here's
awesome.
a
That's
format
very
that I thought we
interesting.
could do for your blog is you can do a blog and do either a like a pre one, like like with the what is it, oh my god, I just went blank, StreamYard. I can do YouTube so you can get a link for that, so when it starts it opens up and you can see what's happening. But you can do a Twitter Spaces about it, and then you can take different people's tweets and embed it so you can tell us the whole story, and then at the end you can show the live interaction of the space. And it will just very easy to lay out and it'll look pretty too at the same time without having to put in so many words, because if you do it that way you can just put in the keywords, the meta description, and you don't need like 20 keywords. You can do 10 keywords about that blog. So if you're doing sports, you can put that you can do a blog about each team, and then you can do a blog about the build up to the team. You can even do a blog about what kind of food to serve at a football game at your house. Hi, Adam.
Hi, Tanya. Hi, Brent. How y'all doing?
Nick, are you leaving us? I'm gonna say goodbye
Oh,
to
hey,
Nick.
Nick. How's it going?
No, I'm not saying goodbye. I was just more interested in what what Brent would like to achieve, and has he got any help or any support on how he can achieve his goal?
So far, I've been helping him. I think he's Brent. Since we met, since I helped you with your Twitter Spaces, what have you gotten so far?
Press credentials from the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
That's phenomenal.
And a freelancing job.
Ooh, awesome.
And now he has a freelancing job as the blogger for the sports team.
That sounds absolutely amazing, Brent. Congratulations.
Also, because of my press credentials, I now have a parliamentary pass for the Parliament in Canada.
That is truly an amazing achievement, Brent. I take my hat off to you, mate. Well done.
So that I can fight for disability, diversity, disability, and inclusion.
Oh, you're speaking my language. If I can ever help with you in any way, please let me know. I'm all up for that, because there certainly needs to be more diversity and inclusion and equality, not just locally or globally, and to change people's perceptions of those with disabilities who actually have beautiful abilities is something that I'm extremely passionate about. And if everybody's given the right opportunity in life, regardless of their ability, everybody deserves the right to achieve success.
But I feel like I built my brand and built my brand and and career path now to go to journalism with Tanya's help. This.
That's that's
Yes,
that's
that's
absolutely brilliant. That's truly amazing. I take my hat off to you, Tonya, for helping this wonderful guy. That's out there on a journey to try and help others. And anybody that helps other people is a truly beautiful thing. Really, it really is.
thank you. And I always tell Brent, your success is my success, and go do it. Ask for whatever you want to do it. And so he asked me, and I tell him this is the next thing. Do that. So I'm really proud of him. So and I'm loving. I'm watching him grow and how things are. And he's like, he cracks that whip. He'll be like, "Did you get my video? Is it done? Are we ready? Did you get it?" I love it. But he really keeps me in check, and we have a lot of fun together. And some days it's not like I'm bitchy sometimes, so he'll let you know. He'll tell you about it. But overall, we have a great time, and we create some great, fun Twitter spaces, and we laugh about everything. Right, Brent?
Tanya.
But yeah, I want Brent to have a beautiful website where he uploads his content and he's curating his story, and people can see it and then create his brand, and then also create a subscription membership, because that's at the end of the day, you can be empowered in all kind of things, but you need to be able to be empowered when you have created your product, your brand, and you have followers, and you have a defined direction of where you want to go and how you create your content.
And
At the end
and
of the day,
plus,
that's
I mean, like I this like freelance job has like now made me like find out about find out about uh perks and like hidden areas that I like get to go to that that I wouldn't be able to go to into as a normal, and events and things that I wouldn't be able to go into as a normal person.
like
Well,
right now, I just
Brent, I just heard what you said, right? Like, listen, all you've got to remember is, my friend, right? The only problem with disabilities is other people's perceptions and how they treat others, right? It's never ever think for 1 minute that if you've got a disability that you're the problem. It's never ever the person that's got the disability or where you're from or where you're born that's a problem. It's other people in society that's a problem. And if you keep that value in your heart and in your soul and in your mind, don't let anybody walk all over you or treat you any differently. You're the same as everybody else, you, me, and everybody in this space, and it might be a weird way to put it, but we're all the same. We're all human beings first, and I think I think once people start seeing that, the only until people understand that the only race in this world really is the human race, and if people believe in each other and love each other and themselves, we we can all work together, no matter where we're from, no matter what our ability is. We're all together. We're all put on this planet, you know, for a reason. And I'm just really grateful, Brent, for you hosting this amazing space with these amazing people. And we'll, if Tonya or you, Brent, ever need any help, if I've got the time, I'll do what I can for you. And yeah, I'm here for you, man.
I throughout my journey with this new freelance journey and with press credentials and everything, I hope to be able to like host some more amazing spaces and bring some amazing content communications people to Twitter Spaces, because I feel like journalism, the journalism space and news media needs to know about Twitter Spaces and utilize it.
And what they also need to realize is how amazing you are, and what you're doing, and what you're doing now is promoting inclusion and equality right now, my friend. And we are behind you. And I think what you're doing is absolutely fabulous, and I completely respect Tonya for
because
back.
because help, Tanya helps me do a political space for the Canadian during the Canadian election to interview a local candidate and do a town hall for him.
Yeah, and I know nothing about the Canadian politics. I learned from that though. It's interesting. I learned a lot actually. But I think that was one of the fun them. But we met. You brought on some really incredible people that, especially like Justin Ayers. I thought he was really cool.
Yes. And David, and then you made a space from out of David.
Yes, it was awesome, right? Like, and then because I'm just really happy for you, and I think you're gonna do so many more
When you
spaces.
helped me connect with Brian from Toronto Sun.
Yes. Well, I think because you were reaching out to him, and then I jump in and it's like, "Hey, what are you coming or what?" And then he's like, "Oh, well, Brent already invited me." I'm like, "Okay, be there."
I, li-
So,
I like your Spider-Man picture, Tonya.
thank you. I'm just This is my Halloween theme. I got inspired from some of my Twitter Spaces host friends. So,
Yeah,
thank
I'm
you.
really into my DC and my Marvel, like in a big way, man.
Yeah, we're pretty obsessed over here. We have everything. And I think, and we have all different type of generation of Spider-Man outfits. I have the Spider Girl, but Spider Woman. But my man has the Spider-Man outfit. I think he has like 6 of them because he keeps buying them. Then we forget, then he'll buy another one. But we have generations, different generation of Spider-Man, because they're different ones come out every year.
Yeah, it's amazing how they keep making remakes of all these movies. You know what I mean? The same one, and they keep remaking it with different characters, different actors, and yeah, it's really quite cool. Um, I'm gonna be quiet now because I'd love to hear what other people have got to say. So I'm gonna be quiet.
Well, actually, we're gonna shut down this space. It's 7:57. But let's say hi to Adam real quick. We didn't even get to say hi to him. Hey, Adam.
Hello, and it's great to be here. And that's really terrific to hear about Brent and Tanya. That's awesome that you're helping them. That you were able to help them out, and I mean, just I'm excited for you, Brent.
Thank you. And before I close the space down, I want to pass on a virtual hug and and virtual applause to Tanya for being my co-host and helping me build my brand.
I freaking love you. A big hug. I'm so happy for you. I'm proud of you. And every accomplishment makes me, prouder. And you just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, and
And you
and Brent
and
and
you're
Brent.
and you're my role model because you've been in communications for several years.
A long time.
And Brent and everybody else in here, always remember, no matter what you face in life, always be you. Always be you. Always be yourself.
Be-
Yes. Always be
Before
yourself.
I close the space, I want to thank everybody for dropping by. for an amazing space, and I hope to have a future space about this topic.
And if you ever, please, Brent or Tonya, if you're ever doing another space, man, I would love to come in and have a listen. And if I can ever offer any support, I mean, if I don't know the answer, I'll find out. But if I can ever help, just please, it's great being here. Thank you so much, Brent and
Thank you,
Tonya.
Tanya.
No, my pleasure. I just want to let you know we have total 73 total listeners for tonight's space. So congrats, Brent. You did a great job. And everyone, have a great day. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, everybody. Bye, Brent.
Bye.
Brent, by Tanya, I'm sure we'll talk.
Bye.
Again, congratulations